Welcome back to the Explainer. Okay, today we are actually time traveling. We're going way back to the banks of the ancient Gagara lotus pond. There, surrounded by this massive gathering of 500 mendicants, a truly brilliant teacher named Sariputta starts to speak. And what he delivers is the Dasuttara Sutta. We're going to unpack this incredibly ancient text, which was ingeniously designed as this sort of massive memory palace for the human mind, literally mapping out the entire path to enlightenment using nothing but numbers. Right off the bat, Sariputta tells us exactly what this is all about. He says, "I will relate the teachings for making an end of suffering, the release from all ties." So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that this isn't just some dry list you're supposed to memorize for the sake of it, right? Sariputta is handing us a highly structured, intensely practical mental toolkit, and its sole purpose is to completely liberate us from the cycles of suffering. So here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the ultimate spiritual matrix. Second, the foundation, covering groups 1 through 3. Third, navigating the mind in groups 4 and 5. Fourth, advanced realities in groups 6 through 8. And finally, we'll hit the ultimate goal, the release from ties.
All right, let's dive into part 1, the ultimate spiritual matrix. This covers Sariputta's 10 categories of action.
To really get how this text works as a tool for the mind, we first have to understand the ingenious framework that Sariputta applies to every single number. It's kind of like a giant puzzle. For every number from 1 to 10, Sariputta slots human experiences into these 10 exact, actionable categories. Notice how they demand our active participation? We've got things that are helpful to support us, things we need to actively develop, and things to understand. But then, we have the negative side, things we absolutely have to give up, and things that make worse our spiritual state. As we elevate, we uncover things that lead to distinction, complex truths that are hard to comprehend, states we must actually produce, realities we have to directly know, and ultimately, the final goals we want to realize. It's just this totally comprehensive, actionable sorting system for the entire human experience. Moving right along to part 2, the foundation, groups 1 through 3, building the base of the mind. Starting at the very bottom, with the simplest, most fundamental truths in the group of 1, we're looking at singular realities. Sariputta states that the single most helpful thing in this group is diligence in skillful qualities. Basically, that persistent, everyday effort to cultivate good. On the exact opposite end of the spectrum, the one thing you absolutely must give up is the conceit of I am. That ego-driven center of all our daily anxieties.
Now, stepping up to the group of 2, the matrix instantly highlights the intense duality of our mental struggles because, let's be real, our inner lives are rarely just one singular thing, right? They're usually this constant push and pull between opposing forces.
What's really fascinating here is the dynamic tension this reveals. On one side, we see the two things the matrix says we've got to give up: ignorance and the craving for continued existence. But look at the flip side. The two things to be developed are serenity and discernment. This means we can't just sit around passively waiting for our ignorance to fade away. We have to actively abandon it while simultaneously, almost aggressively, cultivating deep serenity and sharp discernment. It's very much a dual-front effort for our own peace of mind. Okay, part 3, navigating the mind, groups 4 and 5, mapping inner experiences. As we climb higher, the text basically transforms from outlining those basic, dualistic principles into providing a highly detailed roadmap of our emotional and psychological states. Arriving at the group of 5, we skip past a lot of profound theory to find an incredibly practical sequence. This section details how spiritual inspiration actually physically manifests inside us. So it's not just some abstract thought experiment, it's a deeply somatic bodily experience. Sariputta calls these the 5 opportunities for freedom, and it's just a beautifully logical progression. It all kicks off with step 1, simply feeling inspired by the teachings, maybe from hearing them or just reflecting on them. That initial spark leads right into step 2, where joy springs up. Then that joy deepens and intensifies into step 3, which is rapture. As the mind fills with this rapture, step 4 happens. Your physical body actually becomes tranquil. And finally, with the tranquil body, you feel genuine bliss, which leads us to step 5. The mind becomes fully immersed. It's literally a biological and psychological cascade going from a single spark of inspiration all the way to deep mental immersion.
Moving on to part 4, advanced realities, groups 6 through 8, human flaws and spiritual triumphs. When we hit these advanced numbers, we find this wild blend of high-level meditation and, well, just incredibly relatable everyday human behavior. And honestly, nowhere is this more perfectly illustrated than in the Group of 8. Because here, we discover that human excuses for procrastination haven't changed one bit in thousands of years.
I mean, just look at these things that make things worse. These are classified as the 8 grounds for laziness. You're definitely going to recognize a few of these. I have some work to do, so I should probably lie down and rest first. Or, I just did some work, my body's tired. I have a journey tomorrow. I just got back from a journey. I didn't get enough food. Or, and this is for sure my personal favorite from the text, I ate too much. My body is heavy like I just ate a load of beans. I'd better have a lie down. From being tired from travel to needing a nap because you're totally stuffed with beans, it is a perfect mirror of our own modern laziness. Human nature is just unbelievably consistent.
But here is the absolute brilliance of the Matrix, the solution it offers. It doesn't just sit there and judge you for eating too many beans. Under the category of things that lead to distinction, it takes those exact same 8 scenarios and completely flips them on their head. It frames them as urgent reasons to, as the text perfectly puts it, preemptively rouse up energy. Got a journey tomorrow? Rouse your energy today, because you definitely won't be able to practice while you're walking. Ate too little? Great, your body is light, perfect for practice. It's a complete cognitive reframe of the exact same daily events.
And finally, Part 5, the release from ties, the ultimate goal of the Matrix.
So why go through all this? Why organize this massive amount of info and memorize 10 categories across 10 numerical groups? Well, it all points to one single transformative outcome, the unshakable release of the heart. This is the ultimate realization you achieve when all your mental defilements, yokes, and worldly ties are just completely extinguished. Every single number on this ladder, every behavior you're told to give up, every quality you need to develop, it's all explicitly designed to systematically strip away worldly conditions. Things like gain and loss, fame and disgrace. It strips them all away until your mind is no longer violently tossed around by life, and you finally reach this profound, unshakable release.
I really want to leave you with this thought as we wrap up our explainer today. Looking at your own mind through the lens of this ancient matrix, which of your own modern ties or yokes are you currently trapped by? And maybe more importantly, what are you going to give up today to step onto that ladder of wisdom? Thanks so much for exploring this fascinating framework with me. Keep learning, keep reflecting, and try using these ancient insights to decode your own modern life.